Hey, welcome back to Bridal Sewing Techniques. And today we're going to talk about how to start your own bridal line and collection. This is the first video in a series that I hope you find very, very helpful. And I hope it makes your dreams come true. If you have any questions as we go through these videos, please leave them in the comments down below. I would love to help out any way I can, and I'm sure that the other subscribers would like to help you out too. Here we go. Most people would assume that I am starting to sketch the designs and the images that I have in my mind for this collection, but that's not what I'm doing. Right now, I'm more trying to sketch who I am designing for. I've been in this industry for a very long time, so in order to make this collection or line very marketable, I want to go after some pain points in the market that I feel are underserved. So I'm going to be making this for petites. This will be 5'6" or smaller. My ideal client, the bride that I'm picturing, has more of a shorter waist than what we typically see in the current bridal designs. She's a little curvier than what you would see with your typical size 10 fit model for bridal. I want to make sure that the seams are everywhere we would like for them to be for this shape bride. So here I'm circling kind of where I want the curves and the proportions to be a little bit different from what you would normally see. I definitely like the idea of having convertible sleeves with the gowns. I feel like that's something that a lot of the brides want, and it's not necessarily open to them. I do like the idea of a 3/4 length sleeve on some of the designs. I'm definitely going to stay close to the traditional A-line shape. I just feel like it's so flattering. And I do like the idea of pockets. So you can see how this is a very conceptual sketch. This is not technical. This is not a finished work for anyone by any means. I do like the shape of this nice crisp neckline, but I brought it up just a little higher than what we see a lot of times nowadays. Many of my brides do ask me to do a little bit of modesty fill to the neckline of their dress. So this is kind of a response to that. I also want to design with lots of support in mind. So I'm just going to kind of make a list here of these characteristics that are important to me in my designs. When I'm considering my fabric and trim choices, I do want my brides to have an option. I want them to have both the choice of finer fabric and laces and also some more affordable, easy care fabrics. Oh, and color. I want at least one of the gowns to have a little bit of color. Now that I've clearly defined who my client is and the characteristics that I want in my design, I'm going to go ahead and bring this sketch over to my computer, clean it up, digitize it, make sure it's balanced and good to go. Then I have my croquis to work with. If you prefer to purchase a croquis, I do recommend zoehong.com. Now things are starting to get fun. Go ahead and Google and brainstorm and come up with a name for your line. I came up with Cottage Bride. So you're going to want to be careful with that, of course. Make sure you can secure the web address. However you plan on selling this in the future, maybe go ahead and stake your tent a little wider than what you're even picturing. So make sure you reserve like an Etsy store name. I don't know, different platforms that you may use to sell this in the future. Definitely make sure that you have all your socials also reserved. Now, I'm just going down the list of the things that are inspiring me about this label name. So I came up with the name Cottage Bride because right now I'm super inspired by the cottage core style that's going on. I just love that pastoral style. It's so back to nature and just seems so natural and peaceful. And so I want my designs to kind of carry that feeling. So I'm going to take 4 very different visual ideas that come to mind when I picture a cottage bride. And number 1, I picture the streams, the creeks, and the waterfalls that you might come across on a lovely walk. And 2, I picture fields with flowers and grasses. All of this is going to help establish our mood for our designs. This is kind of the beginning of our mood board. Okay, 3rd, I think of a flower garden. Now, with this, the flowers are going to be different from what I picture in a field. This is more like flowers on the macro. So picture floral designs, design elements within the bridal gowns that are much larger. Perhaps the one with the fields are going to have smaller and more flowers. The flower garden is going to be more on the macro. And then lastly, the woodland. Picture vines, mushrooms, and leaves. Now we're going to take these same concepts and we're going to apply them to what we're going to do with the wedding gowns to express these feelings and these visual ideas. For instance, I may use a floral lace for the flower garden dress. And for the mushrooms, can't you just picture using maybe some Swiss dot tulle with that and viney lace, leaves? Oh, it's so inspiring. Now we are at the final segment in this first video of our series, and this is a lot of fun too. You're going to be making your mood board, and this is really going to help you very much solidify these ideas that we've been working with this whole time. And it also really helps to convey what you're going for when you're working with other professionals. It just really keeps you grounded in your design and in your inspiration. So basically, I have printed out just some random pictures that remind me of each of these 4 elements that we are going for. And I now have my croquis both front and back. I'm going to go ahead and tape them also into this notebook. Each spread of the notebook is going to be dedicated to each dress. And I'm just going to tape it down with washi tape so that everything is very movable. And with this, I'm still not going to have my final sketches that would be worthy of really sending on to any type of professional, but I am going to be doing some sketching on it just to play with the ideas that I have as far as how I want the gowns to look. Before I begin the very exciting step of starting to sketch on those croquis, I want to remind you that this series is quite expensive. I'm incurring fabric costs and supply costs, and it is extremely valuable to you, my subscriber. And I greatly appreciate you being here to watch it. I appreciate everything that all of you guys do to support me. If you are not yet a subscriber, please go ahead and hit subscribe and ding the bell so you don't miss the rest of this series. If you are a subscriber, thank you. And everyone, please just take a moment to hit that like button. It helps me so much. While I am cutting and arranging, I also want to take a moment to tell you about this video's sponsor. Try Audible Premium Plus for free. As you know, as a sewist, a seamster, we spend many hours alone, and I get so much joy out of listening to audiobooks and stories while I sew. With this free trial, this is what you're going to get. It's 30 days free trial. It comes with 1 credit. And hey, if you're a Prime member, you get 2 credits. Good for any premium selection titles that you like. They're yours to keep. You also get the Audible Plus catalog of podcasts, audiobooks, guided wellness, and Audible originals. Listen all you want. No credits needed for those. And lastly, you will get a friendly email reminder before your trial ends, so you don't have to be afraid of forgetting about it. They're going to keep you from that. No worries. Try Audible Premium Plus for free. I'm going to link to it down below. Thank you for bearing with me on that. Now, this part of the sketch is super exciting for me because I'm thinking about the way we can make the different cuts of the garment flatter different body types. And so I'm really excited about this very different shaped waist. It's kind of a vintage look, don't you think? And we're definitely going to have some flowing yet flouncy sleeves with this dress. We're going to have the higher V-neck. And this is a basic A-line shape skirt with 2 panels that slightly overlap in the front. This dress is going to be made out of silk charmeuse, just because it reminds me so much of water flowing in the woods, just like the mood board. Now I've slid over to the back view croquis and sketched a little bit, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit and let you see the details. You can see I feel free to just go ahead and sketch little notes all along the sides of these pictures. And it's okay that I'm not sure about certain things yet. Am I going to do the buttons clear, or are they going to be fabric covered? I'll probably figure that out when I'm draping the dress. So I'm going to have panels of the silk charmeuse flowing down the train out of that center split. I think that will be lovely and very much like a stream of water flowing. It's important to attach fabric samples or trim samples to this mood board. I like to leave them loose so that you can really handle the fabrics. It's important when sketching for bridal that you leave plenty of room underneath the feet of the figure on your back view croquis, just to make room for any train design you might want to make there. Thank you for joining me today. I hope this has helped you. Please don't forget to leave any questions or comments down below, and I will be down there to respond. I can't wait to get part 2 back to you. Make sure you have hit subscribe and ding the bell so you will be notified when each part of this series is uploaded. Have a beautiful day.